Alright, let's see. Music's a little loud, probably. Hello? Hello, friends. How's it going? Who's here? ODM, hello. Hello, Quappa. Hello, hello. Mick, Frank the Third. Hello, how's it going? Skeezings, hello. Thanks for the Prime sub. Ewan, hello. How's it going? Good to see you all. Alright. Do you go keep this aspect ratio? I'll just keep it, okay. That's fine. I mean, well, to be honest, I think I will anyway, even after this gets cleaned up. Because there's really not much to see over there. And over here is just the kitchen counters. It's like, it's kind of in the way of things anyway. So yeah, I'll probably keep it that way. So you can export your media to TikTok? Oh! I guess that would work, yeah. Neo, fine shit. Hello, Mason. How's it going? How are you guys doing? Okay, so today should be a pretty chill and easy build. We have a Merisi 500 CM. It's already been released. I believe extras just sold for that. So you know, just a build. Let's unpack things. Ooh, what's this? Be careful. Top accent piece is loose after bottom screws are removed. I wonder why they included this. Nothing has happened before that would warrant a Merisi morning coffee to include this. Nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. I certainly did not drop the accent piece once when I was unscrewing the board. Literally nothing. Never done that. Never. Nuh-uh. That said, nothing happened to the actual board, you know, like it fell and then it was like a shortfall, so it was like fine. But yeah, that did happen once. Okay, let's take the board out of the case here. It's kind of hard to pull out here. Exclamation alert, goodbye, Quappa. Have a good rest of your evening. Chillin'. Who would ever drop the accent piece when building this board? Not me. Never. Never, 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 never. Alright. So today's build is this beauty of a board. 500 cents per meter. 500 cm. Almost looks like a euro sign. 500 euros per meter. No, just kidding. I don't know what it. But it's an interesting stylization of the C. Putting the bump-ons. Sunny, what's good? How are you doing, dude? Okay. Okay. So standard fare today. The build today is going to be with these MX Browns that I've had for a bit now. These are just 205 and TX film, 65 gram TX springs, I think. I think these are MX2A Browns, but I don't think it matters too much to me. They're nice and smooth, pretty nice, pretty good. Then we have our McLovin PCV. One trip down, just keep life this weekend. Oh, nice. Keep life. That sounds fun. Are you excited for anything in particular there? Just meeting people and having fun, I guess. Okay. Top side reset button. And then we got solderable, so got lock keys and for LEDs, and then, you know, ANSI support for everything. 6 to 5 and 7 new bottom rows. Fairly standard stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and take this out. So this time I will just be careful and just let the accent piece slot out. Let's see. I think this is, oh wait, a bigger screwdriver. On CF plate? No, alu plate today. I only have a default alu plate here. Hoping to have at least one plan going there. Are you a planner type of person? Do you like to plan stuff for your trips? Oh no, I like the outlet plate. It's okay. I don't need to have a CF plate to enjoy MX Browns, but CF plate and MX Browns do sound nice. I'm not strict, but I feel like it doesn't hurt. Hey, it doesn't hurt, yeah. Okay, accent piece. Are you supposed to fall? Okay, well. Alright, maybe I'll just flip it slowly. Get the screws out first. They came out though, but not the accent piece yet. I think it's just kind of friction fit in there. Two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm missing one screw here. When we get back from LA, we're getting Mars 2 on Wednesday. Oh, new cat! So exciting. How old? Mars 2. $10, $12, they're not 100% sure. Oh, kind of an older. Wait, 10 to 12 years old, right? So kind of an older cat. Oh. Wow. Okay, this accent piece is declining to come out of the case. So you know what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna move this case over. And I'm just gonna lay this down flat, and it might fall out when I take it out. Do you think they'll get along with Mars? How old is Mars then? Mars is 8? Oh, Mars is pretty similar to Kiwi. Kiwi is 7. But I feel like if Mars generally doesn't have issues dealing with like being around other animals, then it should be fine. But I mean, yeah, they can get territorial, so who knows? Mars is lazy AF. Lazy might not mean not territorial though. You never know that. Yeah, you kind of like don't know that until you put them together, right? So we'll see, I guess. He might be non-confrontational though, Mars. Like by extension of being lazy, you know. Okay, we got the plate out. This accent piece never really came out of the slot, so I'm okay with that, to be honest. You can just stay there forever, to be honest. These are the plate screws. I wish the weight could have been bigger. You mean the weight in the back? This weight over here? I think the size of this weight is fine, this accent. But yeah, the bottom weight, I guess some people could see preferring it being bigger. But I feel like aesthetics wise, if it were, because this is square. I think the problem is that this is square aspect ratio, right? Like if this were bigger, this logo has to go away. And then if this logo goes away and this is bigger, you know, on the back, then, you know, kind of a bit of a balance there. Let's say you stay, this is the same, but you keep it bigger on the inside, then yeah, you're kind of, yeah, getting close to what the 84 is like, right? Like the OQ. But also, you know, it's kind of trying to be consistent with the idea behind the design, which is like that Hasselblad related inspo. So it's kind of a tough. It's kind of tough. It's like I think the real issue is that it already has an inspo, and it's like if you're, it's like the delicate balance of how far you want to go off from that. You know. Are these screws exactly all the same? Well, they kind of are, huh? I'll keep them separate just in case, though. They are the same, though. They look the same. The board's full alu, yes. This is all full alu. Well, this is stainless steel, and this accent is polished stainless steel. Obviously, it's a little smudged up from my fingers, but it's stainless steel. So stainless steel accents, essentially accents in weight, and the rest is all alu right now. Yeah. The top actually feels pretty heavy because of this accent piece. You know? What is the red board on the desk? The red board is a Tofu. It's a Tofu TKL. I built it last stream, I believe. It's quite nice. I have to say, it's quite nice. Classic wedge. Okay, let's see. I don't know if this PCB is on VIA yet. Might need a JSON file. I'm gonna check to see if we have a JSON file. Okay, I think I have it here. Oh, I need to press enter, but I can't. Can I short this? Okay. Infinity 87 ref 3. Is that right? Is that the right file for this? Infinity 87 rev 3. Okay. Let's download the I thought I had the JSON file for this, but guess not. Oh, there you go. It shows up. All right. Let's see. So, layouts. We'll do 7U. I usually program this to left control, left win key. Don't need that. Right alt I actually do use, so I do prefer right alt there. Right control, right shift, enter, that's fine. I don't really use scroll lock for anything, so I usually put my layer key there. Other stuff I don't really, there's not really much that I need, but if I need to test anything, I put scroll lock here. And then I can put caps lock here, and maybe like media keys, I like to put them on this side. Play, next, mute, volume, and I don't really need anything else. Okay, let's just save that layout. Actually, let's put this to right one too, just because I prefer not to keep a blink there. All off underglow, and let's save my JSON file. Oh. Okay, cool. All right. Just checked out the tofu sound test last stream. It was crazy nice. Yeah, it turned out pretty nice. The MX Purple suit this specific board really well. It was a good nice sound to them. Yeah, I've been enjoying using it. It's been very nice. I do know that I think Alex had some issues with the board initially, but I didn't seem to have that experience, like, you know, at least not to the same extent. But I did give my feedback. Like I told them, like, definitely want thicker bump-ons for the tofu. The force break thing, I didn't experience the issues, which were like basically that it wasn't functioning as intended. I didn't really have that problem with resonance. Maybe it just has to do with how much you tighten the screws and things like that. I found this box of old TX tabs, so I'm just gonna try using them. See if they work fine, but if they don't feel right, then I will replace them. Oh, these do still feel kind of stiff on the wire, huh? I've been wondering about moving my L control to caps too, kind of test out an HKB style layout before I actually buy an HKB. I would personally suggest it. So the real question for you with respect to that is, how much do you actually use your caps lock? Because the reason left control here makes sense to me is because your pinky's right there. Like, that's why control is so comfortable to use here. Like, now that I'm used to it, I hate the idea of doing this to hit left control. It's so far. And I'm twisting my wrist. You know, it's not that comfortable. Shift, manageable. Control, not so much. I mean, it's not that big of a twist or a change, really, but Once you get used to it, you kind of realize that it's just one's more comfortable than the other. That's all. And yeah, I just put the caps lock if I really need it for other things, like maybe games, maybe random shortcuts like in software that you can't like change at all. Then I just leave the caps lock in a layer, like in the inside of a layer. Function plus tab, function plus caps lock, or function plus control, I guess now would be caps lock. You know, whatever it is, just put it in a layer somewhere where you will remember finding it. And that's it. But yeah, once you make the change, and then it's gonna take a while to get used to though. I think control as caps was a bigger change for me to get used to than split backspace. Split backspace was a lot easier. It's because there's so many control based shortcuts and commands and things like that like keybinds that it was just muscle memory to keep doing this like wrist movement. But yeah, once I got used to it, it was every single keyboard I have has control as caps. Like even if I can't do control as caps on that specific keyboard because it doesn't have programmable software, like programmable firmware rather, I will use software on the computer to change it. Like whether it's settings on a Mac, whether it is what is that, Carabiner Elements or whatever it's called, or auto hotkey, I don't know, anything that makes, or Power Toys, I think that also works if you're on Windows. I'm not sure on Linux, but pretty much anything that makes that possible is good enough. But yeah, every single one of my keyboards now has control as caps. So yeah. You'll need to write more 1980 style SQL. Or yeah. Been binding L control to caps lock for MX as well. Yeah, I mean, I use left control for crouch too for games. I use left control normally. Like left control is left control still in all the games as default, but it just makes sense that the pinky's right here. I mean, sorry, here. Pointed to the wrong key, but yeah, right here. It makes more sense. It's so much more comfortable to me. It actually has led me to press this one even less in terms of accidentally pressing it. I press this even like fewer times now, like accidentally or something. Like, I mean, yeah, it's bound to win key, I guess. So like sometimes it can, you know, cause the start menu to pop up, but yeah. I also play my games on full screen windowed, I guess. Full screen borderless windowed. So even if the win key presses and the start menu pops up, it's pretty easy to like exit it. It doesn't like, you know, minimize the game or anything like that. That thing bothers me so much when it happens. What about split or throw backspace when switching between layouts? It takes me a little time, yeah. I mean, initially, like, I mean, now that I've been using custom keyboards for like, what now, like almost 9 years or whatever. I'm kind of used to switching between like 60% with a split backspace and like TKL with a full backspace. That switch is, I'm kind of used to it now. But yeah, there was a time I would make mistakes. Yeah, like I would hit the pipe key and like, you know, type pipes instead of actually going backspace. Like, yeah, that does happen still. But I would say it's not as frequent now that I'm kind of more used to like switching between 60% and TKLs. Like, that's pretty much the only place where I will have split backspace though. It's on 60%. I will never split my backspace on a TKL or a 75 or a 65 or whatever other like larger layouts on a 60, because I personally think it just doesn't look as good as a full backspace on those layouts. Yes, even on 65s, like I do prefer 65s with a full backspace now. I like my yelling key, but you can yell all you want with the shift too, right? But that's a, yeah, I guess having the caps lock is convenient, so that's why I just keep it as a backup on in a function layer. I still keep it in a backup like layer key. Yeah. But yeah, split BS, you know, it does also take some time to get used to, but no big deal once you are. But yeah, HHKB truly changed the way I type. I would say like the biggest change in making 60% a usable layout to me was the diamond shape arrow keys instead of doing FN plus like WASD, because so what that does is that it frees up one hand essentially. Like you can do arrow keys only on the right hand instead of having to rely on keeping FN pressed on one side and then pressing WASD for arrows, or even if it's I mean, I know some people do IJKL or Vim style keys as well. I've seen that as well, and that works fine, I think. But I got used to the HKB style arrows, and that also works pretty nicely. How do I do arrows on the 60? Like this, essentially. I press, like, imagine this is a split right shift here, right? So there's an FN right here, typically. If the FN is not here, if this is a full right shift, right? If this is a full right shift, I press this, I bind FN here, right? But anyway, bottom right corner, right, of the keyboard, you know, you press FN and then up, left, right, down. It's right here. That's a diamond cluster HKB. Yeah. Would you ever use right alt? Oh, this thing, like if you have Win key here, I've seen people do this. The arrow keys here. I've seen people do that. So actually, one of my first builds that I actually the first custom keyboard build that I did for somebody else. It was a Duck Eagle V2, and they asked me to program the arrow keys here. The pagan arrows, yeah, sure. The one that you see a lot in like 60% from like China that have like that 2U shift layout. They have that arrow key there, the up arrow key in between the right shift and the other key onto the right. They do that. But yeah, I initially was asked to do that kind of programming on a Duck Eagle that I built, because back then, or specifically this person for whom I built the board wanted arrow keys there, and I was like, oh wow, that's crazy. And then I got used to using like HKB style, and I was like, there's no way I would do that. But yeah, yeah, I've seen people do it. I personally don't, but yeah. It's also valid. I mean, what's another way of doing arrow keys that are kind of similar to like a non 60% layout. Like basically, it's living on the bottom right corner of the board. Yes, like I could see that. But yeah, I don't know. TFGH? Smackdown in the middle of the board? Crazy. Diego isn't a Beppo van enjoyer. I tried a minivan back in the day, and I couldn't get used to it, so I guess not. Hey, Wantagon. How are you doing? Toss some time. Yeah, toss some time. Do y'all have a good Labor Day weekend? You'll have a good long weekend. It's nice. I love long weekends only because it's like a short week after that. That part is the best part. And I guess I'm kind of glad that this weekend it was mostly just being around here, so I didn't really like travel. But yeah, like traveling for the holidays is always like pretty tiring. It's never long enough. Holidays? Yeah, no, never long enough. How do you feel about Blue Alps on carbon fiber? That sounds kind of fun. That sounds nice. To be honest, I think any tactile or tactile light switch on carbon fiber is probably gonna be nice. Cause carbon fiber kind of brings out the sound of those types of switches on the plate. It was nice. Did some early birthday stuff. Oh, is your birthday? So if it's early, that means it's this week. So it's like, is it like today or like tomorrow or something? Got dinner with the fam? Nice. What do you get for birthday dinner? Sounds like a good time. Sorry, anytime I switch to the BRB screen, my partner's like trying to run across. And I'm like, just go. Last time I think I was doing was it when I was doing the tofu? She was like dragging on the floor. I was like, what are you doing? Just go. It's on the 6th. Oh, nice. This weekend. Wow. So celebrating with the fam this weekend, and then partying it up, or last weekend, and then partying it up this weekend. Is that how it is? Was the dinner with the fam just like the pregame to the real party, right? So this weekend we all showing up to Juan Tagon's house. I'm old, Diego. I don't party. Oh, come on. I've seen old people party too. You can't say that. You can't say I'm old, I don't party, because that's not a valid excuse. I've seen very old people partied up crazy, so everyone can party at any age. But happy early birthday anyhow. I'll probably congratulate you on the weekend anyway. Do you think the EC kit for the Lily is a good idea? I don't know if I should pick it up. I have never tried Topre. What do you guys think? I personally think EC kits are like a good way to get introduced, but at the same time, they're a very expensive way to get introduced. One question about the Lily R2 group buy is, do they offer MX kits, like MX parts separate from the EC? Because let's say you hate EC, okay, you just despise it, then is it still okay for you to get MX parts for you to later build MX if like you just want to switch to MX and stick to that? But that said, I think EC, like EC is getting cheaper and cheaper by the day because we have like new parts makers and like designers. Like Dynacap stuff is definitely going, like it's making a lot of the stuff like more accessible and whatnot. But you know, at the end of the day, you are paying for like all the things. You're paying for a custom plate, a custom PCB, a you know, and then all the parts, right? So it's a few $100s to just get those extra kits or whatever. So it gets expensive. I personally would say that if you haven't tried Topre though, I would prefer going the way of spending less and just trying out Topre, like actual OEM Topre. Because in my personal belief, OEM Topre is very different from MX, or rather like custom aluminum case type EC. I just think it just feels different, and kind of like having it in that like plastic housing and the whole thing is just different. I mean, HHKB is kind of a special case where you have this very like unique situation with an integrated plastic housing and everything, and the plate and everything. But even for the metallic plate, you know, Topre boards like the Leopolds and the Real Forces, they still do kind of type differently from like all the other custom EC stuff out there. And I think it's still not cheap to like necessarily to try out, but if you buy used, you could probably get a decent deal on trying out like an HKB or like a Real Force. Yeah, that said, EC custom kits have never been as available and as accessible as they are today. That's, as a matter of fact, that's just the reality of EC these days, is that we have very accessible EC parts now. Yeah. But yeah, some people just don't like Topre. Oh, hello, Nine Walker, hello. And also, whoa, the raid from Alex, hello. Dang, thank you, Alex, for the raid. How are you doing? What do you do today? Manta Man raid? Oh yeah. Was today the last day of the Manta, or was it yesterday? I saw posts, but I forgot the exact date. But I hope the Manta was a success. I'm sure it was, because anything Alex does is a success. How many Mantas do you get? I didn't get any. I have not been getting new keyboards for myself lately. But maybe if Manta had been a 60 instead of a 65, may have been tempted. Fake fan? Oh, damn. Wow, being called out. Adam, you didn't buy it either. This is like playing the game, losing, and then saying this character diff or like whatever, like, you know, let's say Melee, hello. 6 months. Thank you, thank you. And yes. This is where being broke as a pro, you can't get called out. Yeah, true. True. But anyway, I was trying to make the analogy of this is like when you're playing games and people like call you out for like they're like, oh, skill diff or whatever, like skill issue, or like they like especially like when it's like you know, like the other day I was like playing Overwatch. It's always the DPSs who suck at being a DPS who blame the supports for losing. They're like, oh, I didn't get any heals. I'm like, you didn't deal any damage because you're terrible. Not because you're not getting healed, it was just because you're just dying and having terrible positioning. And yeah, because you're literally out of sight for the supports to heal you. But it's all the time. Like, it's like any games like that, right? It's like, so they're like, oh yeah, supports didn't heal, like they didn't buff. I'm like, I'm not sure that was the issue. I just play tank because no one else likes it. I personally love playing tank, but that's just me. I could never play DPS in my Overwatch days. Always playing tank or support. DPS wasn't fun. It's a lot of pressure. Well, I also am a QP fiend. I don't really play competitive because competitive kind of toxic, and once it gets toxic, it gets pretty boring for me. I pretty much don't really care for it. But yeah, it's true. It's a lot of pressure though. Either way, and now it's worse because of, you know, in Overwatch 2, I guess you get 5v5 modes here and there. Like they brought back 6v6 to kind of lure some people back, which they successfully did for me, just to play for fun. But yeah, it's I pretty much just play 6v6 and then like fun modes like arcade and like stadium. Now that they brought it back to quick play, it's been fun. I played it during the beginning when it was still competitive, and it was like fun to check it out. And then once I rose to a certain rank, people would start getting really toxic about losing, and I was like, and they're like blaming other people and like that kind of shit. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. It's like, too bad you lost, baby. Russia will never bring me back. I mean, yeah, a lot of fans, ex-fans out there who obviously lost a lot of the love for the game since they made a lot of changes and killed essentially what was the legacy of Overwatch 1. I mean, they completely killed it off, right? And so, yeah, there's a lot of people who will say that, yeah, for sure. Now I kind of just play for fun, so it's like it's been nice to just kind of let go of a lot of that and just kind of play for fun. If you ever play 12 Hawks, you know, custom games are best things that happen to late stage Overwatch. Yeah, custom games are fun. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Always like playing fun characters like that, or like playing fun things, like fun situations like that, like playing like, you know, Lucio on like Elios, you know, um, and like booping people off, or like, I guess in 2, I guess you can also play ball and also like push people off or into the mines and things like that. I mean, but I always do have a preference for the older modes towards, you know, versus the new modes. I guess, you know, obviously the best map ever is King's Row on Attack, and there's literally nothing that can be better than that. But alas. Kind of reminds me of the good old days of custom games in Halo. That shit was peak fun. Halo. Didn't play that much Halo. I had friends who did a lot. But I did join in on Halo stuff every so often. That was pretty fun. Love playing Roadhog and Lucio and Elios. Yeah. Yeah. Or like Pharah on like certain maps where you can, you know, like Route 66 is probably a good one for Pharah. Maybe even Lijiang Tower. But, well, like the outdoor one. But yeah. And Orisa when she had to pull, yeah. Although even Orisa right now, she's kind of fun to play, actually. She's not bad right now, the way she is. She did change a lot, though, completely, compared to the beginning, for sure. Myth, hello, how's it going? Alright, of course, I have a silver board. I'm gonna put some beige on it, because I want to. So, let's do that. Gonna test it with the cap I'm gonna put. I like pulling people off maps. Always made them so mad. Yeah. CRP, OG Cherry. Diego, is OEM Topre like HHKB still best Topre, or do you actually like a custom more? I personally prefer OEM Topre HKB. Yeah, for me OEM Topre is like peak Topre for me. It's like the benchmark. It's like if there's any custom Topre out there, it should be at least similar or like, you know, get close to what the OEM Topre is like. I think the thing about the HHKB is that the HHKB is specifically very unique. Okay, so the HHKB it's a housing made of plastic, ABS plastic, and the top piece of the HHKB itself is the plate. It's an integrated ABS plate essentially, and so you know, you're hitting your keys against that ABS housing, like the entire thing. And so, you know, it's this very like compact unit. It's all plastic, and it's just a very unique thing. So I personally like HHKB as like the peak sort of like Topre experience, in my opinion. That said, the layout is not for everybody. The real issue with like using an HHKB is that the layout is honestly not for everyone. So yeah, it ends up being a little bit of a like you know, if you can't do the layout, then you know it's really, an HHKB is not really that usable. Some people just don't really like it. So you know, I recommend people to try it, but you can't make people get completely used to something, because yeah, sometimes muscle memory is kind of hard to beat. But for example, I tell people, like, if you can use a 60% wind keyless layout board, HHKB is the exact same layout, alright? Oh, morning coffee. Hello, welcome. Do you get the icon mod kit from GMK? These are from, I believe these are from Missing Keys, I think. Either from Missing Keys or from 9009R2. I think it's from Missing Keys though. I think 9009R2, I actually have it on a board, I'm pretty sure. How do you feel about Dynacap? I feel pretty good about Dynacap. It's, I would say, currently is really the best implementation in the hybrid electrocapacitive space that we currently have. Like, there's nothing like it. It's really well engineered. It's tested. It's very well thought out. It types very nicely with. So like, I think the biggest, how do I say it? Like, the hardest part about Topre, outside of just the sliders and like the rubber dome experience, is also the keycaps. So the reason people don't want to just use OEM Topre is because you have a very limited selection of OEM Topre compatible keycaps. That's just the reality of it. There's not many people who make Topre compatible keycaps out there. For the ones that there are, it's still limited. It's hard to get. It doesn't always support the layout that you want, whatever it is, right? Colorway is not the ones that you want, right? It's not perfectly suitable, so it's kind of hard, okay? So you're stuck with the default options, and so, you know, what Dynacap offers is MX sliders, and MX sliders are not like the newest thing in the block, right? Like, people have been offering MX sliders for basically over a decade now, but the cool thing about Dynacap is that they engineered the housing so that when you use, for example, lower profile stuff like cherry profile, like on R3, like, you know, in the home row, it doesn't hit the housing with the plastic of the keycap. Like, the plastic of the keycap won't hit, you know, the housing that has the stem, you know, as it normally would on regular OEM housings. Like, you know, there is interference, and so you end up hitting the housing, and you kind of have this like very jarring or irritating plasticky sound that's not very nice. And also just the way MX EC stems sound is very different, because the keycaps themselves hug the stems completely differently from the way OEM Topre compatible keycap gets attached to a OEM stem. It's just complete. They're just different. OEM stems basically are like a cylinder, like a tube with little bars in the middle, and those bars kind of like pry open this keycap, which has like a barrel, and then it just kind of like envelops this, like it just goes into that like barrel in the stem, in the OEM stem, and just kind of like stays there in the barrel. Whereas in MX, you friction fit this cruciform of the stem inside of the keycap. Completely different mechanism. So the physics of it are different essentially, and not just that, but also like thickness differences. Like, you know, typical thick cherry profile keycaps are like 1.5 millimeter thick, but Topre OEM keycaps are thinner than that. So essentially, you get a completely different sound profile too. So yeah, OEM Topre is just inherently different from MX-ified EC. Dynacap really does come close to a very, very pleasant experience that's not OEM. And I think they, like Clever and Co, have thought that through pretty well. I tried the Blue Ridge, I tried different prototypes of their stuff, and it's pretty good. Like they're always working on iterations and improving that, and like getting feedback and stuff, but like it's pretty damn good. Like if you want to use MX keycaps, it's really one of the best out there for sure. But yeah, that's sort of the bottom line. Is everyone down on desk keys now? I would say I think the problem with desk keys is not so much just as desk keys wasn't good, but it was also that desk keys was expensive to get, right? Like getting a full kit of desk keys parts was not cheap. It was never cheap. And so that was, I would say, one of the biggest obstacles with desk keys is sourcing is also expensive, even if the quality of the product itself is very high and very good. So I always felt like EC was never gonna like hit, new developments in EC were never gonna hit like new heights until it was either made cheaper, which is we're like, you know, we're slowly getting there, and then and just having more saturation of options out there. Like now you are seeing, thanks to the development of EC PCBs and whatnot, like EC PCBs that you get in stock, like for the RF or for the HKB or for 60% or whatever, like thanks to Cipulot and Co, like making efforts to, you know, make more custom PCBs. Now you actually have people making housings for those PCBs, and then like they design their own plate, and then they like, you know, go about and do their own thing. But you know, the options start expanding from there. So we're going to start seeing more of that, and like more proliferation and more just having more products out there. And so that just by itself will continuously improve the experience of this new, you know, I guess type of typing, which is like hybrid MX/EC, or like custom kits originally designed for MX that are also EC compatible, or alternatively like the CK980C, which CanKey's just designed. You have pure EC keyboards that also happen to work with MX, or like just, you know, have EC only in mind, but like it's like now you get to have all this custom stuff out there too, which is really nice. So accessibility is like important, you know, and so it's been good to see that kind of evolve from an outsider view, I guess. And I really say outsider view because I actually haven't tried that many custom EC things out there. I don't buy the custom EC kits because I like the OEM Topre stuff that I already have. There's no real reason for me to buy the custom EC stuff. That said, it would be nice, you know, to try more, and it's always fun when people do offer me to try out new things and whatnot. I seem to have unplugged my soldering iron, or it just unplugged. Oh, I see. that heated up, and let's get this soldered up. Bless SIP for making easy stuff more accessible for everybody. Yeah, it's really so great. Like there's been a lot of people who have been wanting this, and to kind of like see that being like pretty much now just like a kit that you pre-order or buy in stock is like really nice. But yeah, Myth has a good point though. Yeah, Norbauer HG, the heavy grail with ABS switchblade comes close second. Yeah, to OEM Toper, yeah. All right. Gonna put this fan on. How are you doing, Diego? I've been doing all right. Job's okay. Not much. Not too busy. Busy, but you know, adequately. Not too much. Actually been busy on the keyboard side. Like I'm still building like 3-4 keyboards each week, so it's been pretty busy in that regard. But doing all right. Lately, I guess I've been. This past weekend, I'm just taking classes for tennis. Well, like, you know, it's like once a week, just like an hour-long class, kind of like for the local park provided classes, and it's pretty nice. It's like the first time I played tennis in like since I was a kid, so that's been pretty fun to pick up again. Definitely it hasn't been like, oh, I did it as a kid, so I will just like remember it. No, I forgot all of it. I suck, and I'm just trying to get my like hand-eye coordination for it. That's been fun though. Just hitting the ball and whatnot. Diego, when are you getting up? You're setting up your Synology? Oh, the NAS thing. Whenever I get the drives in, which I haven't yet. I'm not in a terrible rush just because I don't have a strong need for a network attached storage, but I do mean on getting drives. I've just been waiting for the right sale for drives, to be honest. I honestly should have picked it up way sooner, obviously with the tariff bullshit and other things like you know, price have fluctuated a bit, but yeah, just scoping out for decent deals for like high storage drives. Like I'm probably gonna pick up like those like Exos X16 or whatever, like 16 or 18 terabyte ones, not sure. Buy refurb? Yeah, I was looking at the server part deals, or the, you know, I was just like scoping out like build a PC sales for like people posting on those, or like eBay. There's like those two places that sell like those refurb Seagate or WD drives, right? So I was basically looking at those. What comes naturally to you, one hand or two-handed? Oh, for my backhand? I would say two-hand for me. One hand looks cool and is nice, but I don't think I ever really like practiced or like kind of like felt like it just came naturally, so I think two-hand for me for a backhand. Have you gone to a new restaurant that you highly recommend? Let's see. I mean, I've been to some good spots lately. Like, at least in my area, there seems to be some... Like, I actually tried a Korean place recently, and it was actually not bad. It was pretty damn good. It was like, you know, it was just like very, like, classic like Korean, like Korean for like it's like a good place that I would take someone who has never tried Korean food type of deal, where they have like all the jigaes, and they have like, you know, bibimbap, which they have like both in like the veggie version and like the 돌솥 and like that kind of stuff, and they have like the typical meat dishes, like, you know, like bulgogi and like the different like pajans and stuff, or like kimchijan or whatever, and they also have like japchae and like, you know, jaeokbokkeum, you know, that kind of stuff, like, you know, like the more like amenable dishes. But the flavors were like good, and like seasoning was like on point, so it was pretty decent. So that was nice. One of my local grocery stores sells like a lot of good like meats, like deli cuts and stuff, so we've been like getting like prosciutto and stuff like that for like pretty cheap, which was pretty nice. Like today, actually for dinner I just made some you know, some spaghetti alla carbonara, right? Like got some pancetta and made some carbonara with it. Could have gone some guanciale, but yeah, we just had pancetta today, so made some carbonara for that. That was nice. But yeah, area's been nice though. It's been like, it's like very diverse, and there's a lot of like pretty decent food options. So I've been enjoying it. Any pick? I actually did not take pictures. I typically do take pictures of the things that we cook at home, but today I was so hungry by the time I was done cooking that it like disappeared so fast. But also it didn't look as scrumptious as it sounds, just because the presentation was not as good. You know, so like the part there's a part of like when you're making carbonara, right? You have to like toss the pasta with the egg mixed with the cheese. So that last part where you like, you know, take it off the heat and you're tossing it, right? So that you essentially are like mixing a little bit of the pasta water and the egg and the cheese, right? And it essentially, like, as you're like mixing hard, right, like and quick, you like form this like nice and like sort of like almost like creamy sort of sauce, right? Essentially, without actually using cream, which is, you know, like a vital part of carbonara, right? And it didn't look as even as I would have preferred, but it was very tasty nonetheless. Didn't take a picture though. I can promise it tasted better than it looked. Yeah, you gotta emulsify the sauce. Yeah. So, you know, I did all the things right. I just it was just not as like perfect, not as nice and homogeneous as I would have preferred it, relatively. Building Merisi and talking pasta, yeah. But anyhow, yeah. So it's been good though. I mean, it's been chill. Oh, you know what game I tried this past weekend with a couple of friends? Picked up Peak on Steam. It's like an indie game where, like, you know, all you have to do, like, you're basically like stranded on an island. It's a co-op game, and you're stranded on a deserted island, and you just gotta climb your way out of there by essentially bouldering the shit out of the island and making it through various like areas, and then reaching quote unquote the peak of the island and getting help essentially, and getting out of there. It's really fun. It's a good game. I kind of got hooked. So I've been itching to play. Actually, maybe after I'm done with this I might play a little. But it's very fun. It's one of those like instance games where like each time you go about it, you can like figure out your own route and way of going about the map, but also the map itself refreshes every day, like every real-time day. the servers refresh the map, and it's a different map each time. So your routes essentially, you know, you don't have a save point per se. You just have to do a single run. So pretty fun game. But yeah, I tried that out with a couple of friends, and that was really fun. Kind of sucked at it the first time, but tried a couple more times and made it through a few areas, and it was pretty good. But haven't finished it yet. Haven't actually beaten the game yet. But yeah, that's been me lately. Other than that, just have like I know that Keep Life's coming up for this weekend. I do kind of feel bad about it, like not being able to attend a Keep Life. But basically have a few things to juggle around, family related and whatnot. And so yeah, basically couldn't really make it into the planning for going into Keep Life, so won't be there myself, although I did originally really want to make it this year. But for those who are attending Keep Life, have a lot of fun. I know it's always a pretty big meetup, and this year it's a little different in the sense that it's a different date compared to previous times. Bo, hi. Hello. Epsilon, how are you? Diego, I'm looking for a new TV. Oh yes, I read that and then I accidentally skipped it. I'm sorry. I don't know too much about TVs, but what are you looking for? Are you looking for something for like your living room? Like a big TV? I want to ask Mally, but I'm afraid he's gonna make me want to spend $14,000. It's interesting how Mally suggests very expensive purchases, but I don't think he does them all himself either, so he just knows about the most expensive stuff though. Time to go OLED? That's what people say. People do say like once you go OLED you can never go back, right? It's kind of like one of those situations. I actually don't remember what TV we have. Yeah, I don't really remember what TV we have. And what size anymore. I can eyeball it, but I'm not sure. 65, they said. Is it OLED? No, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's not. We don't have OLED. We don't have OLED in this house. As for my bathroom. Hook up Samsung the wall so I can watch The Office while washing my hair cones. Emerald, hello. Thank you for the 35. Thank you. Wow. Appreciate it. And thanks for subbing tier 1 in advance. Wow. Scrolling on the shitter big style. Damn. Baller. I can moderate naked. We all assumed you did, Mr. Cooper. We all assumed you did. We are fully aware that you are capable of doing just about anything, and with great skill. So, Mr. Cooper, you pulling up to KeyCon 2026 Chicago? We'll be expecting you there. Were you going to announce your retirement, riding into the sunset, announcing a new chapter? SYJ, hello. Epic High songs are lit. Hi, hello. Yeah, Epic High is always lit. Yeah, probably one of my most listened artists for sure. Just about in general. Kubo making an appearance one day. We all hope that Mr. Kupo will make an appearance. Only to find out that Mr. Kupo has always been making appearances. We just never knew. We just never knew. I'm ChatGPT model 69. Okay, ChatGPT model 69. What do you think of Grok? pull back this guy's hairline. Anyway, Emirate, how are you? How's life? How's being a parent? Are you sleeping okay? Better? Clark, is this normal? Alright, I think I got everything soldered up nicely. Gotta just make sure it works. Not really? That's fair. I guess not for a bit, huh? But I'm having fun on Baby 2? Yay, that's good. Let's see here. Baby wakes up usually at 5. Oh, that's early. Looks like I missed a key here. I did actually miss a key here. I mean, would you say you are now used to waking up early? I guess there's no such thing as really getting used to it, right? I don't feel like, that I cannot see myself getting used to waking up super early. I'm not a huge morning person, although there was a time I was pretty habitually waking up around like 4. But it's really not my preference. Never really been a morning person. Are you guys morning people? I don't really get y'all. If you are, I mean, good for you, and sorry that happened, I guess. But yeah. Out of obligations, just different from really wanting to be a morning person. All right. Interestingly enough, this accent bar never really budged from where it was. Let's hope it doesn't. Let's put this on. So this board is top mount only. So top mount aluminum. Yeah, not really. Some days I used to wake up at 4 when I worked in Mexico City, but I was a zombie all day. Yeah, that was me when I was doing my early wake up things. On calls have messed my preferences so much I turned to a morning person sadly. Oof. Yeah, I get that. I mean, certain professions, obviously, you have to wake up in the morning early because there is quite literally no other choice. Like, that is just the nature of the job. Hello, people in medicine especially, among others, but yeah. Top mount, best mount, yeah. I do kind of agree. I don't mind tactiles with other mounts, actually. I do think tactiles can sound pretty good with other mounting methods. But yeah, top mount is always good. Top mount is so dependent on the case design in general, though, right? Like, there are simply some. Ooh, this screw hole is feeling a little tight there. I'm gonna blow off any dust in there. See if there's any debris on this. Okay, that's better. Okay. See, it was just a little bit of debris. Nothing like getting paged by my boss at 2 a.m. because something broke in production. Oh, that's rough. I am sorry. It was because of traffic of all the reasons. Okay, well, okay. For those of you who don't know about Mexico City traffic is one of the fucking worst. It's one of the worst. It sucks. It's essentially what people talk about when they talk about LA, Los Angeles traffic, right? It's just not a good time. It's just not a good time. So yeah, people who regularly have to do the commute and things like that in Mexico City, traffic is part of the life. So yeah, it's a good reason why you would be waking up early and stuck in traffic and having a hard time. You haven't seen Hanoi traffic? I have not. I want to visit just to visit, but I would not want to just see that for a work life experience. Hell no. Well, one thing I don't miss about Mexico City, for sure. One thing I certainly would not like about LA if I lived there, even though I've been there before. I did work there for a bit before, for like a summer, just doing stuff. But yeah, But yeah, I mean, and you know, I have relatives and friends who live in LA, and yeah, it's rough. Yeah, you get used to it, they say, but yeah, it's pretty rough. Only times I remember waking up before 5 a.m. This is like a very very privileged statement over here. Only times I remember waking up before 5 a.m. is when I had active buy auctions that were ending in JP time. Oh my god. Had to wake up to adjust for the time difference. Okay. Okay, Rich. Okay, Rich. Very privileged. Wow. Had to get up early to get a new keyboard. Oh my god. I had to catch the auction time because they're gonna snipe it from me. Had to wake up early to spend $300 or whatever. Or okay, fine, 80 on a good day. Oh no, I woke up to spend more money. Poor you. Poor you. Don't worry, I mean it well. It's just funny though. Also, Vietnam traffic build diff. Yeah, there's places in Asia where I really truly wonder how people even get from place A to place B, because like between navigating the motorcycles and the scooters and the whatever else goes on the road with and aside from just the sheer saturation of vehicles on the road, and then on top of that you just have like a lot of pedestrians too, and existence or maybe lack of like lanes, if at all. It's tough. It's tough. Couple in the moped bonked into our taxi. I'm sure that happens all the time too. Vietnam was probably the only place where the bus driver lost some initial D driving. Multi-track drifting. I know. Alright. Let's put these keycaps on. Got some good old beige today. Some cherry dice ups for today. Wait. A couple of years back, I actually did that to try some Owl Labs keyboards, but never again. Fair. Fair. Sure don't remember some of the layouts stuff. Let me just double check here. Beige, how creative! I know, isn't it? It's you know, it's I try my best here to come up with the most creative key set I could have possibly chosen, right? Yeah, I know. I try. But hey, nothing wrong with it. At least it's Italian layout die subs. Isn't that cool? If it's not, it's fine. It can be not cool. I usually put artisans on my clusters, right? Keep tilting that off. GMK Windbreaker might go well with this keyboard. GMK Windbreaker, that would be cool. When's that running? Literally going like 25 miles per hour, just solidly hit the taxi, rubbed their heads and said, "We okay?" And drove off. Moped experience for real. Handlebar goes well with this keyboard too. I think if it were black, I might. Actually, no, silver goes so fine with this too. Yeah, you're right. Handlebar is just too colorful, so kind of works. October expected date, but no confirmation. Oh, that's cool. Blue alert would have been better. Yeah, I know. Hey, I gotta use my other base sets too, you know. Blue alert is on a different board, but yeah. I don't get to use my cherry caps nearly as often. Some beige resin over here. Let's do that. DM sent on Discord? What's that? Oh yeah, sure. Just so you guys know, in case you were unaware, but the 500 CM just had its one of the extra sales for the units that were stored at Novel Keys, but there will be also an in-stock sale on Gion's website in 2 days, on September 4th. The specifics of the sale can be found through the Merisi Works Discord server. There is a channel called 500 CM Extras. They will be live on September 4th. Specifically, it says September 4th at 6 a.m. for me, which is Eastern Time, US. So if you want to be like Secret Myth and say, I woke up at 5 a.m. for my drop, you may do that on September 4th at 6 a.m. ET. but there will be some 500 cm in stock sale units on the 4th. Just so you know. And I'll put a little color for pop. All right, there it is. The 500 cm. Let's try it out. There's also Axiom's closing sale. Oh yeah, Axiom does have a closing sale where you can snag Type 60 SLs for cheap. I believe they have like up to like 50% off, which is pretty sick. Yeah. I hope there's some Sasanta updates after that. You craving Sasanta updates, Hestura? Oh wait. Okay, there. Who's Hestura? You. All right, let's try this out. Anywho, check e-waste. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, wow. Pretty cool. All right, let's give this a shot. Let's see. Okay. This cable's been acting up for me for whatever reason, so I'm gonna use this one instead. Oh, my Lemo's been acting up. Yeah, that one's fine. Okay. Alrighty. Let's give this a try. My screen just has OBS. It's fine. There's not much. There's nothing fun on my screen. It's just chat. Thank you, though. All right, let's give this a try. Let's stop the music. And all right. Oops, sorry. All right, so we have the Merisi 500 cm with MX Browns, top mount aluminum plate, and we have this currently topped with some OG Cherry PVT keycaps. All right, this will be two actually. Okay, all right, let's give it a try. Here we go. Yes, I have PVT with ABS missing keys. The only ABS stuff is like the enter, the pipe, and the shift. Alright, here you go. Oh, it was a 60, it was a 30-second trial, so let me do a 60 on. Spacebar weird. Yeah, it kind of sends something kind of shaky there, eh? So let me see. Maybe I didn't mount it right. Let's double check that. There we go. Just checking if maybe I didn't mount the plate properly, but the plate's there. Plate's fine. So let's see. What do you guys think it is? Is it a PBT bar? Yes, it is a PBT space bar. I can try an ABS one, see if it works differently. Let me grab. I can grab an ABS space bar from maybe the one that I have right here. Maybe it's warped, maybe, yeah. Let's try an ABS one, see if it's the bar. It could be the space bar. It could be the plate, I'm not sure. What do you think it is? Do you think I maybe didn't tighten the screw or something? Still bad? Yeah, so it kind of sounds like something's rattling, right? Maybe they didn't tighten it all the way. I'm not sure. Maybe the spacebar is warped. I don't know. My spacebar is fire. Yeah, I don't know. It kind of almost sounds like something's like shaky, right? Let me see if I tighten all the screws right. Second spacebar shouldn't be warped. Yeah, I did use this one's ABS and sorry, this one's PBT. This one's ABS. Yeah, so ABS. So it kind of sounds weird, right? Screws probably. That's my bet too. I'm gonna check. I gotta check. Maybe I didn't tighten all the way or something like that. I got distracted maybe. Let's check it. Otherwise, switch out the switch? Yeah, that's another way to do it. I do have a few extras, so I could just switch out the switch. Oop. Give me a sec. Sorry, misclick. Okay, so let's see. Let me see if maybe I misaligned it a little bit. retightening the screws now. Star pattern. Okay. Let's see here. Kind of sounded like the plate was hitting the case, but we'll see. Let me try the space bar, the PVT one, without putting the case on yet. Yeah, I think maybe the plate was hitting the case slightly, like rubbing maybe? Right? Your arm is scratched? Oh, here? Yeah. Kiwi at some point I think scratched me, or maybe I got scratched with something else. I don't remember. It's one of those. It's one or the other. Let's try. Again, the case is still not screwed down. Okay, I think it might have just been the plate rubbing against the case very, very slightly, because it definitely sounded on one side and I couldn't hear it on the other. So I think that was probably it. All right. Maybe a long pole switch could help. Yeah, I mean long pole switch could definitely help, but I don't really love long pole switches just because they're a long pole. Specifically the short and travel kind of gets to me. But it does help, yes. It's better now though? Yeah, I think it was just the plate. It was slightly mounted too close to the front part of the case. Because top mount does have a little bit of wiggle room. Very, very small, but it does. So I might have just mounted too close to the front instead of the back. Yeah, alright. I think that was it. I think it was just a plate. Alright. Okay. Alright, let's try this again. We have again MX Browns on aluminum. I'll snooze the ads for a bit. Okay, let's try this out. Shall we? All right. Here we go. Wait, hold up. There it is. There it is. Sounds pretty good. I like it. It has a little bit of like, slightly bit of resonance into the case that I actually like with MX Browns. I actually think like, I like this better with, like I like the sound profile with the Alu. Better than I would probably like it with other plates. So I think for this particular board, I actually really like tactiles on the Alu. I typically would say otherwise for top mount boards. Like I sometimes would say like PC or CF plates are nice with tactiles, but I actually really like the Alu sound on this. It's pretty nice. Goes nicely with the PVT actually. It's yeah, nice resonance. Pretty good. Yeah. I think earlier the spacebar was just there's like a small like part that kind of like curves in like this on the plate. I think that part was just rubbing against the case just very slightly, but it was there. So that was probably why it was sounding kind of like cheeky. Yeah. Diego, can we try DCS please? We can, but maybe not today. I do have some other things I actually need to do before I, hit the sack later today. So I'll probably have to wrap it up pretty soon. But I will be using this for a bit, so I can bring DCS for the next time I'm streaming. So if you're around for the next time I'm streaming, I can try DCS. Is that okay? And you tell me you have a life? Yeah. I mean, well, I have to respect other people's lives too. So yeah, I don't live alone after all. There's also Kiwi, so I need to, attend to him too. Can you flip the keyboard? Yeah, of course. Can show what the board looks like. So this is what the board looks like. The 500 cm in silver. If you want to look at it from this angle, there it is. Pentagon with the hug Kiwi, but I think he is fast asleep. I can take a picture of him and show you how asleep he looks. He looks so sleepy. Yeah, very clean though. It's a very beautiful side profile. Sorry about the very not clean mirror. Wait. Still not clean. Excuse me. But there it is. This is these are Italian OG cherry dice ups. Oh, didn't go through the mods, right? Let me go through the mods. Here are the mods. Pretty nice. It's a nice board. It has a nice amount of resonance in there. It's kind of a little different from like the super dense cases where the resonance isn't really there. This has a nice amount of resonance for the Alu plate build. I actually really like it with tactiles. I think I personally prefer this sound right now with MX Browns than I probably would them with MX Blocks. I can already expect more or less what I would hear with MX Blocks, just because I've built a lot of top mount MX Block boards. But I think I really like the personality on Browns for this. So I think it just works better with the PVT caps right now. Yeah, Barrow. Yeah. How do you like this compared to like Dodgies or Janes? I mean, if you want to look at a Dodgy, I have one right here. I was actually using it earlier. but I actually have one literally right here. This is the 84. Sorry, some kiwi hair over here because he was sitting on the desk earlier. They're both nice boards. I mean, they're all excellent boards. Obviously, notwithstanding like things like aesthetic, preferences, you know, like small things like, you know, this one has the auto board that's pretty far to the bottom, to the desk, close to the desk. This one's not as close to the desk. You know, there's like some different factors here and there, but things to consider. I would say, you know, whichever you can get, and if you like top mount plate style boards with this kind of like more classic leaning aesthetic, then definitely, you know, both Daji and Merisi have made some very nice designs. And this is like, you know, not gonna talk about the aftermarket, not gonna talk about easy or difficult to get, that kind of stuff. That's just it just depends, you know. There's so many factors in that. But yeah, just like board to board, like they're both very nice and they have different appeal. Like, you know, like I was telling, like, you know, Morning Coffee has like a very signature aesthetic when it comes to like the chamfers on the housing, like here on the top case, or like for the weight and things like that. Like the chamfer is much more pronounced, and you know, in the case of this particular design, there's a lot more fillets and there's chamfers, obviously, but like the custom series that you know Morning Coffee did had like more pronounced chamfers, and that was like very characteristic design wise, and so it was pretty cool. But you know, top mount plate wise, like they both function great, and they both have actually Daji's plate is slightly different from like a TJRG plate, for example. They're like slightly modified from that. And so yeah, they have slightly different characteristics. Just kind of modifies the sound a little bit, like especially like towards like the bigger modifiers, like spacebar shifts, things like that, you know. So that'll sound a little bit different. But ultimately, you know, a lot of top mount boards they share a lot of similarities, and so you just have to kind of like try it out and see how you like them. But I mean, like there's some that a lot of people have tried and people like, you know, and so yeah, whichever you can get is probably the one that you'll like the most, in my opinion. You can make it the board that you like the most, to be honest. A lot of people don't really think that that's possible, but you know, there's people who do fiddle around with their boards for a while and actually figure that out, and I think it's doable. I mean, back in the day, people would shove foam in, people would put shelf liner, take it out, you know, try different plates out and different PCBs and things like that, and so you can always try that. So, you know, experiment a little bit with what you can get and see where you can get, and if you are actually still dissatisfied, then, you know, go for something else. Anyway, so yeah, Dodges don't all sound the same. They all sound good but different. Yeah. The designs have had changes over the iterations of the boards too. Yeah. Is CM different than the C? Yeah, 500C is at least for the Merisi Works designs, it's the 65% keyboard. So it's the, I guess technically it's the predecessor of this board. The TKL is the CM, and the C was the 65% that had the same Hasselblad inspired design, right? The 500C was the 65%. Yeah, I love my Coral Seisero. Yeah, me too. And it's completely different. The Seisero is like a completely different design compared to the 84. The 84 is like, you know, top mount, right? But the Seisero is tap hole. So you can build a plateless too, which is pretty cool. I built a plateless. So yeah. Anyway, they're all nice boards, but you know, I would say don't kill yourself over something if it's too expensive and anything like that, or like just kind of hard to get. But there are always going to be more opportunities, and speaking of opportunities, as I said earlier, Gion Works, with a collaboration with Merisi, is going to have a few in-stock units on Thursday, September 4th at 6 a.m. Eastern, unfortunately, 3 a.m. Pacific. Time differences, time zones suck, but it will be a thing. So if you are, gunning for an in-stock unit outside of the extras raffle that just happened, then that is another opportunity that you'll get. So yeah, and yeah, don't go into debt. Don't be responsible, etc., etc. And this is not financial advice, etc., etc. as well. But yeah, just be responsible. All right. But yeah, Crispy Senpai, remind me of the DCS thing later. But I'll mount some DCS on it. And I guess I'm probably gonna wrap it up here because we're essentially done. Again, one more time to show off the board briefly, though. Gorgeous 500 cm by Merisi. Always thankful for Morning Coffee's enthusiasm and support for what I do in the channel, and also just the overall enthusiasm that he has for the hobby. Always grateful. It's always nice, and always thankful for my friends and for the community members who have always been around here to, even though I personally think my streams are not that entertaining, I'm not the most fun and out there person, but you guys coming back to just show your face and just say hi and hang out for a bit is always super nice. Even if you're doing other things at the same time, and that's totally cool. Always appreciate it. Always appreciate it. But anyway, some exciting stuff. I can show you a little tease. Watch it for goon. Jesus. First swipe, then worry about finance later. Yes, right. But little tease here. Maybe this way. This guy, built pretty soon. If you know what it is, number 3. Soon. You okay? Standing desk problems. Yeah, anyway, number 3, build pretty soon. Should happen pretty soon. I think this week. I think on Thursday I'll do it. But I'm just confirming a few details with Mike and Novel Keys folks. But once that's straightened up, I think I'll be doing this ASAP, which most likely will be this week, like the next stream. I'll try to confirm a time ahead of time and do that, but I think for now I can just say for sure, most likely Thursday evening-ish, around this time. Because I go to work and I come back and then do this. And then I'm going to be doing the ETAR 87 from the Bloody Easy over the weekend. So that'll be like midday on Saturday, most likely. So yeah, those are the 2 builds coming up, and a few others coming up soon. I think next week probably we'll have the Fossil full size that Carolina Mech designed. That's round 2 for the Fossil full size. So if you're interested in the full size keyboard custom, yeah, that's one that's coming up pretty soon. But yeah, let's wrap it up. All right, folks. Let me see if there is anybody streaming any keyword stuff. I'm not sure anybody is anymore. Think there were earlier, but not now, which is fine by me. Oh, actually no. I see Keep Noob is actually streaming. Godson is also streaming. So maybe this time we can throw a raid over at Keep Noob. All right. Thank you again, everybody, for sticking around. And I hope you enjoyed the build. What is that keycap set? This is G81 3000 SAI. Or Cherry. With missing keys. Yeah. I'll catch you guys later. Take it easy. And I'll see y'all later. Take care. Take care. Have a good rest of your week. Bye.